Take yourself back to 1946. The top 3 songs of the year are this.
A rose must remain with the sun.
And this.
In a quaint caravan.
And this.
Then, out the blue on the radio, you hear this. What happens next is the alto sax break that completely changed the game. Woo-hoo-hoo! Can you imagine how much that shook stuff up? That is Charlie Parker's famous alto break-off, A Night in Tunisia from 1946, and we're going to look at it in detail today and break down just how impossibly brilliant this sax break is. Now, the first thing to understand about this iconic break is it is not improvised. Charlie Parker does not improvise this break. He's already worked it out. How do we know? Because check this out. Here's take 1. Here's take 2, the actual take that was used. And here is take 3. So, as you can see, every break from that March 1946 session is exactly the same. It's a set piece thing that he worked out. But not only that, if you compare the studio version to the live versions from surrounding years, he also sticks to many of the same things. For example, here is the version live from 1945 from New York's Town Hall. That's one of my favourites. Here is his break from the 1947 live concert at the Carnegie Hall. And finally, here is the version from 1951 from Birdland. This is really burning, this one. So, as you can tell, not only because the 3 takes that we've got from 1946 are the same, but also the surrounding years, the live shows from 1945 all the way through to 1951, he plays, broadly speaking, the same thing. This is definitely not an improvised break. Now, if I get the computer to play the breaks at the same tempo, much slower, and put the music up on the screen and play them one at a time on a click track to really make this clear, so we're not distracted by sound quality or tempo or anything like that, it becomes even more clear. Check this out. Hey, quick note, I've got a free PDF which you can download by using the link there or click the link in the description. It's got obviously the full transcription and all those transcription breaks from the bonus concerts. So go and grab your free PDF. It's going to be a great resource as you study this break. I'm going to talk you through the phrasing and I'm going to talk you through the harmony. But just before we get there, let's talk about the rhythm of this line. Because it's the rhythm which is really going to help you latch on to where you are and where that band comes back in. And it's also one of the most genius features of what he does in this break. So first of all, let's look at the rhythmic hits that Charlie Parker plays. These are the notes which he accents much more than the other notes in the line, and it really gives his break that really cool and off-center rhythmic impetus. So first of all, we'll do it nice and slowly. Now this is just a snare drum played where he accents notes, okay? Here we go. So you can see it's got that cool sort of off-axis feel to it. Let's do it a little bit faster now. Now, a little bit faster. In fact, let's go up to full speed now. So the actual rhythm has got this wonderful sort of swing to it. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, to ba, ba, to ba, to ba, 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 to ba, to ba. So let's now put the line together with the hits. First of all, you'll hear the hits. Then you're going to hear the hits with the line. So you can see how those hits work in that line. First of all, let's slow it down a little bit. It's going to sound like this. With the line. So let's now play it full speed. Remember, first of all, you're going to get the hits, and then you're going to hear how those hits correspond with the line. And it'd be great if you clap along and sing along at home. With the line. So it's those accents that give this break such a cool rhythmic feel, because it starts off, you know where you are, it's just punched out on the rhythm. But then in the second half, it starts getting lopsided with that bam, 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 bam. So kind of the rhythm climaxes with the notes, the Charlie Parker accents in the line. And if you need to play this break, you definitely need to make the most of those accents, which we're also going to come to in the next section, which is on phrasing. If you're going to sound good playing this break, you got to get the phrasing right. And it's not easy because it is a million miles an hour. In fact, the average human blink takes about 400 milliseconds. And by that time, 5 notes have passed in this break. Literally in the blink of an eye, Charlie Parker has played more than a beat's worth of stuff. So this goes past very, very quickly indeed. So to have a look at the chart now, I've marked in all the phrasing. So T means to tongue the note. If there is a slur of the note, obviously you move on to the next note without tonguing it. Where you see HT, that is called half tonguing. You can either close off one side of the reed or put your tongue lightly on the reed. And you do that for the duration of that note. It's called half tonguing, and it gives the note a muffled, more subdued sound. Now, RT is when you release your tongue, because when you're half tonguing, you leave your tongue on the reed. And then when you pull your reed off, that's marked in the chart as RT. Now, once you put all these things together and you bring out those accented notes, if I play this in very slow motion, it's going to sound something like this. But bear in mind, there is so much detail in there and it goes past so fast that you're going to need to take your time over this. But this is what it sounds like in very, very slow motion. By the way, I'm going to have to sneak breaths when I do this because I won't be able to play the whole thing in one breath at this speed. So, lots to think about, lots of tonguing and half tonguing to think about. There's a real, ballet dance that's going on inside your mouth there. Let's try it a little bit quicker and then we'll hear Bird play at full speed and you'll just be like... Now let's hear Bird do it at full speed and marvel at just what a genius this dude really is. Here we go. Okay, last but not least, let's talk about the harmony in this break. And you might be surprised to hear it's actually pretty simple, really. You can see on the diagram there, on the chart there, that the notes in red are the only notes which aren't inside the D major scale. So the first phrase starts off with the D major scale with a couple of very Charlie Parker-esque bebop passing notes. They're marked as PN there. So the first phrase sounds like this. Which is all very D major-ish, but it's all very well knowing a major scale, but it's another thing to sound like Charlie Parker when you do it. And a lot of those shapes and the way he uses the scale are very idiosyncratic of both bebop and the way he plays. And so, you know, you can learn a lot about playing a major scale just by studying this break. Now, at the end of the first line, he briefly steps into G minor, which is this beautiful little moment. And then going straight back into D major. So it's like a sort of very, very momentary sort of 4 minor chord going back to D major, and then he stays in D major pretty much for that whole measure with that one passing note. Then the final bar is an F sharp 7 chord, which is turning round to take us back to B minor, which is the key of the song. Now, the twist in the tale is that we never actually go back to B minor. We go back to C7 sharp 11, but that's another story. As far as your ear is concerned, we are going back to B minor, and we're doing the dominant 5 chord. Now, the scale that he plays, apart from the last 2 notes, the scale that he chooses is called the Phrygian dominant scale, which would be the equivalent of a B harmonic minor scale starting on F sharp. So it's easy to work out the Phrygian dominant because the harmonic minor scale that you use on your 5 chord is the same as the 1 chord. So we're in B minor, we're going to use B harmonic minor scale, but we're starting on F sharp. Now that gives us an F sharp 7 chord with a flat 9 and a flat 13. So the line, this beautiful descending line that Charlie Parker plays on that scale sounds like this. But the final twist in the tale is that the last 2 notes, the A and the G, don't fit the scale. Well, the G fits the scale, but the A doesn't fit the scale. Normally, you would expect that note to be an A sharp, like this. But actually, he plays an A natural and creates this whole tone scale for the last 4 notes, which is quite interesting. And the final twist in the tale is that the whole thing resolves to C, not B. So we'd be shaping up for this resolution, and then we get this surprise, very bebop-ish resolution to a semitone above. So the whole last bar now sounds like this. So as you can tell, the harmony in itself really isn't very complicated, but it's the blinding speed, the beautiful shape, the rhythmic accents that we've talked about, the phrasing, the ghosted notes, all these things, and the fact that it is so fast. Like I said, this is played so fast that each note, each 16th note, only lasts 80 milliseconds. That's 0.08. That's 8/100ths of a second for each note. So by the time you blink, there's a load of notes going past. It is impossibly fast to play. So his virtuosity and his delivery, and his sound and his phrasing all make this one of the most iconic phrases in jazz, and it just changed the game. So that's all we've got time for. Remember to go and get your free PDF, which has got the all the phrasing marked in and all the lines from the bonus live recordings as well. If you want more, you can always go and check out the Inner Circle membership. The 7 days free trial is pretty awesome. There's so much cool stuff in there. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. I know you think you're getting good value on YouTube. Wait till you join the Inner Circle. You won't believe it. I'm serious. And if you want to buy me a coffee, I really appreciate it. These things take a lot of caffeine, let me tell you. So you can use the link that you can see there. Until next week, practice hard, practice smart, and enjoy your music. Take it easy, guys. And finally, here is the 1950... what is it? Oh, yeah.